Kind of a random video, but this movie's on my mind, and I kind of want to talk about it a little bit. So spoilers for Smile 2. I want to talk about the ending because it's something I've now found fascinating. I've gotten to watch some of it again a second time, and what I like about Smile 2, and it's something that I think it's fascinating because when I walked out of the movie, I loved the ending, and it really got me thinking. And then I go online and I see everyone saying that the ending's predictable, and it's just the thing you expect to see, and I'm like, yeah, but does predictable mean bad? I don't think so necessarily. I think sometimes predictable can be okay if it fits the character, if it fits the journey they're going on, and if there's a poetic reason for it in the writing. And I felt Smile 2 provided those evidence, those things to make the ending work. In this case, I really like how Smile 2 tackles the theme of hopelessness. And I really like how this movie, with our main lead, with Skye, her in this movie is different from the main lead in the first movie because this woman, she's not a psychologist. She's not someone who studies this stuff. She's someone who has had a drug addiction problem. She's had depression. She's had other issues going on in her life. She's riddled with guilt. So the monster would latch on a lot easier to this more unstable person than the character previously, which I liked a lot. It made for this movie to have this psychological element where the film is actively gaslighting you like the character's being gaslit in the movie by the demon. And it created this whole new effect, almost like as if the creature was breaking the fourth wall to you in a way. That's what really creeped me out about this movie. And I really enjoyed how this one, it found a way to make the ending for me feel earned because throughout the film you have this character talking about how she doesn't want to let her problems, her addiction, her mental health issues affect other people. She doesn't want to let her trauma and her curse hurt the ones around her because she's feeling that responsibility for that. So I found it fascinating that making it part of the career she was trapped in, part of the career she didn't want to be in, part of the consequence that gets spread to everybody, fascinating. I thought it really worked because it's not just the fact that, you know, the main character gets consumed again. I don't think this movie is a repeat of the first movie as much as people want to say it is. Yeah, there's similar plot beats. We know what the demon does, but I feel like that's beyond the purpose. The point of the movie to me was that character's emotional journey. I can kind of look past not getting lore about the creature or not really doing something different there because I think that creature's just a vessel to tell us about the characters. Because I've heard some complaints about this movie and how it's like at a point people don't know whether or not the scene is real or if a character's actually interacting with them or not. But I feel like that's the fun of it. Like that, for me, that's the fun of the terror. I like the fact that I don't know and I don't want all the answers given to me because you're supposed to be in that POV of the main character. You're supposed to be in her shoes as she's trying to figure out what's real and what's not. I did think Smile 2 does a good job at planting the seeds of where you can think she is fully taken over by the creature. There's several points. For me, I personally think it's when the crowd is all gathering around her in her own room, she's trying to leave. I feel like that was like the true possession moment, and the rest just kind of continues on. But like, again, I could watch it again and get a different take of when that full possession happens. I like that this movie does that. Because at the end of the day, whether her friend was real, whether she actually showed up or not and talked to Skye and all of that stuff, because we find out that was not real, it still informed us about the character. It doesn't change the fact that the character was traumatized and the fact that she lost a friend. It still informs us of that. It still takes us on an emotional, psychological journey with Skye. So that stuff does still matter. Even if the friend didn't actually show up, those interactions are still to a point. They make sense. There's a reason for it. And honestly, it adds a more sinister aspect when you look back and you're like, oh, that was the creature just fucking with her the whole time. That's even more messed up. Like, it doesn't feel like, it feels like that level of safety that even the first Smile had isn't there anymore. You know, at least in the first Smile, the main character had a husband who cared about her and wanted to kind of step in and do some stuff. So you felt like there was that one outlet to run to, like, hey, you're my friend. Not with Skye. Skye, everyone, no one's looking out for her. No one cares for her necessarily, and even the people who did are mad at her. So there is this sense of hopelessness, this sense of eeriness that adds to the dread this movie wants to permeate in. That's kind of what I love about the themes of Smile 2 in particular. It's all about consequence and consequences of our actions, in this sense being the movie opens with Kyle from the last movie possessed, trying to do that. He ends up projecting that stuff onto another person, spreading the demon to the one drug dealer to kick off Skye's whole journey. But the whole thing is like he literally gets killed the moment after that happens. No one is safe. No one gets a happy out. And I felt Smile 2 really doubled down on that in a way that really increased tension. I don't see how this movie is less scary. I think this movie is a lot more scarier than the first one because of that. Consequences of your actions spread, and eventually it can hurt people whether you intended to or not. I love that message, and it's great in this movie. That's why I don't need a Smile 3 necessarily. If they make one and it's good, cool, hell yeah, that's what we got with Smile 2. I think it's better than the first one, but if it ended here and we just didn't get more, it's a pretty dope dark ending, honestly. Like, I really like the fact that the monster possesses Sky. She does the thing in front of a whole concert, and now her misery and trauma spread around the world. Just a sad ending. Confusing, scary, off-putting even. Yeah, that's what a horror movie should do, and I think this movie does it with flying colors. I don't really know what initially made me want to make this video right away. I was just sitting here in the parking lot before work, and I'm like, you know what? Smile 2 is still on my mind. I kind of want to talk about that ending. And I don't know. I think it's a gem this year. I really love Smile 2. What did you guys think of it? What are your thoughts on the spoilers of Smile 2? Do you like it more than the first one? Do you want a Smile 3? Thank you so much for watching Scatterbrain Reviews. I will see you next time. Heretic video coming soon. See you then. Bye. Also, to anyone who has watched the trailer for our horror movie Shift coming out, I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much. We're at 3.1k views now with the trailer on YouTube. It means the world to me that people care to look at it and even just scroll by it for a second. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. So excited to share more of that with you. Thank you for watching Scatterbrain Reviews. Goodbye.